right, next we'll be doing our 6.4 presentation of Proclamation designating May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Lake County, and Supervisor Pyska will be reading this proclamation.
Are you coming up? Come on up. Okay. We have people to take pictures. Board of Supervisors, County of Lake, State of California, proclamation designating May 2025 as Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period are profound life transitions that can affect every aspect of a person's life, including their mental health. Maternal mental health struggles are the most common complication of pregnancy and childbirth, and yet they often go unrecognized and untreated due to stigma, lack of screening, and barriers to care. Whereas 1 in 5 women and 1 in 10 men will experience a perinatal mood or anxiety disorder such as postpartum depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, or post-traumatic stress disorder, making these conditions the most common complications of pregnancy. And whereas untreated maternal mental health conditions can have long-term negative impacts on the birthing person, the infant, and the entire family, including disruptions to bonding, development, and family stability. And whereas stigma and cultural silence around mental health during pregnancy and postpartum prevent many individuals from seeking help, sometimes suffering in silence for months or years. And whereas struggles with mental health can affect any parent, regardless of age, race, or income level. And whereas systemic disparities between Black, Indigenous, and other communities of color experience higher rates of maternal mental health conditions and face great barriers to care, including discrimination, lack of access, and underdiagnosis. And whereas pregnancy and postpartum mood and anxiety disorders are highly treatable through early screening, timely intervention, and access to culturally responsive and trauma-informed mental health care, which can lead to full recovery and improve outcomes. And whereas Lake County Behavioral Health Services supports maternal mental health through investments in programs like Motherwise, a community-based initiative that offers free in-person and virtual support groups, mental health screening, peer support, and a welcoming drop-in center where mothers can find connection, encouragement, and care without judgment. And whereas programs like Motherwise help reduce isolation, increase awareness of available resources, and create a sense of community for new and expecting parents navigating the mental health challenges of pregnancy and postpartum. And whereas all birthing people deserve to be heard, believed, and supported in their mental health journeys in a community that centers wellness for new and expecting parents, builds a strong foundation for future generations. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lake County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim May 2025 as Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month in Lake County, and calls upon all residents, healthcare providers, and community leaders to join in breaking the stigma, supporting families, and ensuring that maternal mental health is a priority in our collective efforts to build a healthier community, passed and adopted this 13th day of May 2025, signed by our Chair of the Board, Supervisor Crandall. So thank you for bringing this to us once again. It's, having a child is the one thing that turns your life upside down like you just can't imagine. And having the resources to know that you're part of a community, that that there are people that are there to care for you and show up for you when you're just overwhelmed, it means a lot. It's an isolating time too. So if you don't have the resources to reach out to other people, it affects you and your whole family. So this is critically important, and I'm glad that we're investing more resources in this, and I'm glad to see that we have Motherwise showing up regularly for these proclamations. And I just thank you so much for all that you're doing for our community. Yes.
Thank you, Supervisor. It's always surreal for me to stand up here and talk about any mental health topic because I am a peer with lived experience. And I'm actually just now that my son is 7 coming to terms with how deep that experience went for me because of stigma, which is insane. But when you're a person in any position of leadership especially, you may be afraid of disclosure because you don't want people to think that people running your government are crazy. And that's just how I felt about it at that time. That said, I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Mothers, in my opinion, are the backbone of society. Nobody would be here without a person that carried them, who is usually a mother. And I want to thank all of our community organizations and all of the people in this county that are working to support moms. It's the work of angels on earth, truly. And I would also like to encourage the community to pay attention to the Behavioral Health Services Act, which was a reform passed through Proposition 1. Proposition 1 was a voter initiative which involved Senate Bill 326, which turned the Mental Health Services Act into the Behavioral Health Services Act. Overall, great changes were made because it's an integrated plan now. However, what that means is that some counties may lose funding for programs such as Motherwise that were otherwise covered by prevention, education, and intervention dollars. So Lake is still in the process of determining how that change will impact us, but I encourage you to look out for upcoming MHSA/BHSA stakeholder meetings to learn about this and to use your voice to make choices for Lake County that work for Lake County. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right.
I just have to say, oh, to the moms. I'm glad you mentioned that it was Mother's Day. It's fitting that it happened right near Mother's Day, so,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you to everyone for their hard work in this area. Mental health is a big priority in our county, and I think we have some great partnerships going on with not only our government agencies, but our partnerships with those in the community, so thank you.
All right. Anyone from the public? Does anybody have a public comment? All right, I think it's time for a picture then. All right.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, you do? Yeah. Okay, terrific, thank you.